night. I played Soul. Yeah, she's an auto attack. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What? Hey, Shazi, what would you think if I just made the entire map nothing but farmland? A ludicrous-sized map that's nothing but farmland.
I don't know.
The one guy that had the Kefka makeup looks like he's from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, I'm gonna run some seed maps and see if I can find decent, like, ludicrous-sized team islands or something. Oh god, that's terrible.
Make your seeds like old, you know, numbered songs. Like 8675309.
The best Minecraft seed I ever played was Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. It made an incredibly cool map that had lots of like sharp angled like mountainous spires. So I played it with my nephew and we built like an interconnected floating city.
That's awesome.
The only time I ever played Minecraft for a very long time solo was basically trying to make Moria, and it kind of drove me insane.
I'll be right back. Mom just got...
I'll just take a giant map versus a ludicrous map. Oh, Sazi, I can get I can make player thematic because unfortunately I can't have interesting. I can't have like it's forcing me to pick civilizations.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, I'm being stupid. Alright, never mind. I'm just gonna make a 4-player map.
That works. Oh, so Sazi, I found this. Well, sorry. So one of this YouTubers that I watch, just posted a video on Age of Empires 2, and he had a mod that allows multiple, like, it was a mod that allows you to use an upgrade multiple times, and he was
he was showing off that you could like make villagers pretty much invincible.
That's kind of weird. It's interesting.
Well, it's just like it's because you can like you can keep using like making upgrades and stuff. So I was thinking like if I was to do that, I would literally make it to where like none of my buildings can be destroyed. Like it doesn't matter what the other team does. I just make all my buildings like have a billion hit points.
Joke's on you. I would research infinite bombard cannon range.
Just bombard the enemy team from from your base. You like from relatives, like from safety of your base all the way across the map.
You could just research all the range upgrades over and over again.
No, you wouldn't do bombard cannons. You do trebuchets. Because trebuchets are the highest damaging against buildings.
I mean, just go ahead and do all siege units. I want to see what happens when a scorpion fires across the map.
Oh god, that's...
That's why they called me Takashiro, victory by default. You can't be a badass without a cool nickname like Fireball Jr. number 2. That's what I say. Get that cheddar, son.
Trying to rotate, but it's not letting me rotate the building. Okay, I don't really care. Alright, player...
I'm back. I had to bring in seed and pop. Pop.
So deep.
I'm not as fancy like you.
I don't know anyone who just calls it like soda. Like usually, yeah, it's like just Coke or like I guess soda if you have to like totally genericize it.
Well, I got into like
in the Midwest they say pop. In the Southwest they say is Pepsi okay?
yeah, I got into like a whole issue with my ex who was like over what's called. I was like, no, it's pop. She's like, no, it's soda. Technically it's soda pop, so just shut the fuck up.
I call it sody pop because I'm very casually quote Simpsons all the time. My sody is too cold. My teeth hurt.
Oh, I just fucked up. Don't place player 2 houses next to player 3.
So they combined to make player 5.
No.
It is an extremely old game actually.
It's an old game mode.
Yeah, it's an old 90s real-time strategy game that was more or less the apex of the genre. These He's just making a map.
Oh, it's like Command & Conquer's old, like, 125 map thing, but instead of them just being a bunch of randomized maps, you try to find, like, the best one. Like,
one second, I got a, you're back. Sounds like he has a wind-up toy dog. Like after every 6th bark, it should backflip.
Aww. Those are annoying but cute. The paradox.
The other one? Oh, right. Fairly Odd Parents.
Alright, I'm back.
Yeah, the knockoff Darth Vader. I remember that now, vaguely.
I'm very awkwardly situated in pop cultural awareness of just like what kids shows I watched. Because like I'm an early millennial at 33, and like I don't know, like I never fucking watched Jimmy Neutron or just like remember Rocket Power? Like nobody remembers Rocket Power. Fuck you.
Okay, they did a lot of crossovers, and I think they stole each other's powers at one point. So, like, Timmy had a giant brain.
Yeah, I remember that one. Three Sharks.
I watched a lot of bad shows. Like
no, Saji, do you remember Street Sharks?
Yes.
Here, let's date ourselves real quick.
Captain and the Game Master.
I mean, I'm not really into Batman shit in general, but the animated series is pretty dope. Gargoyles was awesome.
Oh.
Gargoyles is great.
Yep. You are the youngest one here.
As far as Nickelodeon shows go, like, I think the only Rocko's Modern Life was genius, and there was such a.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a movie.
I saw the movie on Netflix. That's good.
Invader Zim was great. I loved it. Like, oh my god, everything in it was perfect.
Invader Zim was like just after when I was watching Nickelodeon shit. Like I kind of just stopped watching any TV after that, really. Avatar fucking rules.
Are you talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, or are you talking about Avatar the actual movie?
No, we're always talking about The Last Airbender.
we have to be clear here about what we're talking about.
If we say tall blue people, we mean that Avatar. By the Explosion Mancer.
Blasphemy!
I was interested, but now
I'm not a giant fan of the Korra.
I like
Korra.
it because it was like it wasn't afraid to do things outside the norm. Some trauma.
I think she had plenty of legit trauma.
It took her 3 years of physical therapy just to walk. She went from being an all-powerful.
Well, that's kind of the point. Like,
I mean, not one guy.
like, okay, I'm gonna get all fucking nerded out here, but like, the whole thing was like. The challenge was like Aang was an essentially peaceful airbender who had to cope with being in the time of war. Korra was a warlike airbender who had to cope with like the troubles of like peacetime and diplomacy and stuff. Like if you switched which times they were in, they would have been much different stories. Like Korra would have been fine if she was in Aang's situation. Like that would have been over in a week.
Yeah, like the first time she ran into Zuko, she would have just grabbed him by the ponytail and just beat him off the floor a couple of times.
Yeah, she would have punched the firebending right out of him.
I don't know. I guess it was just like the difference between like the air. Like I didn't think like as by itself. I thought it's okay. But I guess it's just like
they're very different genres of show in general. Cause like Avatar is a little has a lot more like adventures, strange places, and stuff like that. Korra is kind of centered around. I mean, it's possible to do it lazily, but I don't agree that they did.
no, I don't think they did either.
I think it was very much like
ending and open a floodgates for things like. No, it's what somebody else thinks.
Yeah.
It's like a top 10 list of negatives with no positives sprinkled in.
Yeah, like any video that's like in that style, I won't click that with a gun to my head. Like I hate those kinds of fucking videos so much.
It's like, this is bad, you should feel bad.
Off to a great start.
That just reminds me of those protesters where it's like the guy's holding a sign that says God hates fags, and another guy is standing nearby is holding a sign that says fuck this guy in rainbow lettering.
壊してあげる
Like, Korra did such a great storytelling, and they weren't afraid to take risks. At the very end of the show, there was a marriage, same sex, on a Nickelodeon show. They tried to hide it away from everybody, and like they fucked with its time slot so much they were trying to kill the show off. But
I want to say that I fucking called Asami and Korra like way back earlier. Like all of the relationship drama, I just kept going like, why don't they just date each other? Like fuck these guys.
Not only that, but they let their guard down around each other. Is what I like. They weren't just, oh, we should date because that's what society says. Like how.
Change of times.
They refined the technique.
I don't think you did, because there was that one bloodbending which they had. Like she could do it any time, but she wasn't.
Do it whenever.
She was just more powerful than the moon, like any water bender.
His father had like been taken care of by the Avatar. Like had his bending taken away, so he wanted revenge and like trained his children like non-stop. And like once they showed any hint of having his gifts of being a bloodbender, he trained them non-stop until they had perfect mastery of their gift at a young age, and then forced them to like use it.
They don't. They're not. He's not.
They don't. He's suppressing. It's like Tylee's key strikes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he made you think he was blocking out.
Only the Avatar can technically.
It was like a weaker version of what Aang was doing, or what Aang did.
It was more of a psychological attack to make them doubt themselves. Like, it was probably temporary, and then they would think that it's permanent and just never try it. So like even if it wore off, they wouldn't even try to fire it or something. So they'd be like, well, I've lost it. It's gone. The reason for that is... Well, it made it... It gave him...
Well, yeah.
No, it gave him more character development because he had, like, a story...
There were no more airbenders to train. Like, they had been completely exterminated, so, like, more airbenders had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I really liked how how like it kind of confronted him with this incredibly awkward situation of like having lots of airbenders like pop up randomly, and then he had to go around and try to convince these people to come like be a monk and shave their heads and get blue tattoos all over them, and it's like, that's fucking weird, dude. Like nobody wants to do that, and they had to like put on those like weird little shows and stuff like that. Like the demonstrations, like to try to attract people to airbending. Like I thought it was kind of like pretty cute and funny, and Tenzin was a great character.
Yeah, Tenzin had... Yeah, I'd like to watch it.
Yeah, I really want to rewatch it again.
I'll say this: the first season was a little cringeworthy, but the rest of the...
Well, that was
pro bending.
cool. I liked that.
I like that. That was cool, but like the first arc was a little...
It was a good way to keep their skills sharp without being in a conflicting era. There was no, like, big war, so you didn't need your skills, but it was a good way for people to blow off steam. Well, you don't have to use martial arts. Fucking Toph learned how to earthbend from watching fucking mole rats.
Yeah, there's a whole parallel.
Movie as the way.
There's a whole parallel to like how things happen in the real world, like when China was industrializing, a lot of that cultural stuff had to be like commodified and used in industry. So like that's why you have like lightning benders running power plants and shit like that. Like it's a total change. It's a total change in the culture and how people express it, and how like when all the different cultures are intermingled, it's kind of how they can get kind of like lost in that shuffle.
Don't take the whitewashed Avatar movie as the way bending and everything works.
We don't speak of that.
I don't think anybody's talking about that.
Well, no, because he made the
we don't speak of that one.
He made the conjunction of the martial arts and bending being like intertwined together as like you need one for the other, and that's the way the Avatar movie works. But not.
He was referring to the fact that like everyone in the original, like Toph and Katara and everybody, had their own martial arts style tied to it.
Mm-hmm.
Toph, for example, was the only one who used Southern praying mantis style because she learned from the moles. She had a different, unique earthbender.
Yeah, like the all the other earthbenders, they used a martial art based on Hungar, and Toph's was completely different.
Yeah, Toph's was focused on taking it and giving back.
Blasphemy. Shun.
I haven't seen any of it except a few clips, and I just thought, like, from a directing standpoint, a lot of it was just framed like shit. Like, it was just a bad looking movie.
Well, bad casting. Well, it wasn't 100 episodes. It was only the first book.
It wasn't supposed to be an entire, like, retelling of the story. It was only up to the Northern Water Tribe siege.
It was the first book. And then on top of that, but the biggest problem they did was they whitewashed it.
And made, like, the firebenders version.
Casting was weird and terrible.
Yeah, the casting was really bad. And then forcing the bending to be tied to the martial art, like the way they did, I just found to be really dumb for choreograph. They could have done way better.
I didn't like how the firebenders had to literally use, like, active fire sources.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty significant drawback to have. Like, the whole thing that made the firebenders, like, terrifying is that they didn't need the fucking... They could just make the fire.
Yeah. Like, firebenders could...
Yeah, like...
Other than, like, air and firebenders are the only ones that don't need a source, because their source is always present.
Why do you think the firebenders targeted the airbenders first?
Well, that was mainly because the next Avatar was going to be born as a airbender.
The airbenders in general are going to be the biggest threat, though.
She did.
He's passive.
Because he was like a 10-year-old and a pacifist. Like, that... But I don't know, it's like asking just like, you know, why didn't Korra waterboard anybody? It's like, because that's fucked up.
But there's a more base fact. The reason why he didn't do it. It's because he can't. He can manipulate air. He can't take it away, so he can't create a vacuum.
Doesn't that one... I may be misremembering. Doesn't that one, like, crazy Henry Rollins dude in Season 3 of Korra do something like that? Or am I misremembering? Because he does some buck wild shit.
He straight up pulls the air out of the lungs of the Earth Queen, and then, like, circles it around her head. So
yeah, but see, he's not taking it away. He's not making a vacuum. He's pulling the air.
Yeah, it's a subtle difference.
Yeah, he's like
there's a big difference.
Yeah, he murdered her in the most brutal way possible.
Well, I mean, if he was creating a literal vacuum, then it would like cause her to compress into a tiny ball of guts the size of a golf ball, and that would be kind of a weird thing to see on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that would be like Valben's like vacuum, and that just makes me picture like a gritty Sokka with sunglasses. Thanks. God, if you want to see anything like that, fucking Suki would have been terrifying.
I think a lot of the show is like just it's made so much better for that stuff, for like the Nickelodeon quality of it.
Suki would have been the fucking, you know, like Batman Deathstroke mix.
Like, there would have been a very mixed morality and messaging if, like, you know, it was the same show, but whenever there was a fight, Sokka would fucking gut a fool with his meteorite sword. Like,
and you also gotta realize,
because like a lot of the themes and story of Avatar was like the unwillingness to kill. Like the entire last half of season 3 was Aang being just confronted with the fact that doing something about Ozai probably means killing him.
Yeah, he targeted everyone, and they all said, hey, do it. Like, even the air.
Also, also the show wouldn't last that long.
It also had one of my favorite jokes. When they're pretending to be Fire Nation and Aang joins the Fire Nation school, and he's just like, this is a picture of Fire Lord Ozai, and this is a macaroni picture of Fire Lord Ozai that I made in Arts and Crafts.
Yeah, I love that one.
But yeah, no,
like, it's like, Aang's going to a Montessori school.
Based on the way the show went, that show would have been very, very, very short. If, like, actual killing and, like, bloody and grittiness was actually put into the show, because Aang would have died what, 13, 14 times over, like, actually died.
And I think, like, excessive gore
like,
isn't...
up.
I don't find excessive gore to be terribly mature. Like, it's pretty juvenile.
Yeah,
I think it's a more intelligent show for how it is now.
Korra was really good in
like,
the fact that it didn't show an excessive amount of gore.
And, like, the thing that's really compelling about a lot of Avatar, too, is that, like, there really is a lot of implied violence off-screen, where it's just like, you know, like, everyone in the water tribe, it's just like, oh, by the way, all of our fathers are dead. Like, and there's just these ghost ships. And...
Toph was like, he's fine. If he knew he was gonna die, he was just putting on a great face. I like how Korra dealt with what about the pure anger when he thought that Earthbender General like put Katara in the ground and like smothered her. He immediately activated the Avatar state. The guy was like, good, you're activated.
And then proceeded to get his ass kicked.
She's fine. Then he just beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, actually, bringing up that episode is basically the answer to a lot of your questions of, like, why didn't Aang do such and such thing? It's just because, like, that Earthbender General is the character that's saying, Aang, why don't you just strangle the Fire General? Well, like, you're kind of asking this kid to just do some really crazy buck-wild shit.
Yeah, once you open that door, it's hard to shut it again.
Yeah, can't unring a bell.
Yeah, it's like... Believe me, if I started killing people, there'd be none of you left.
Yeah, like...
God, do you remember Assassin in Fate Stay Night? Like, the school teacher? I mean, he technically fucking killed, like, not only the Joker when he tossed him into that vat. I was like, oops, he fell in. But also, like, Victor Freeze. When it's like, oops, the cryo tank. I hit it with a batarang and it electrified the fuck out of him.
Yeah, my sister and I both love Avatar and Korra, and my sister is a public defender for death row inmates, so she has some skin in the game.
I like Korra and how they didn't show excessive violence. Like, the Earth Queen was probably about the worst thing you see, and well, that's excluding the whole, like, mercury poisoning that Korra goes through.
Oh yeah, like...
I was about to mention that.
She blew up her head.
But it never showed anything.
It implied it.
Like, yeah, it implied it, but there was no wet thump and, like, you know, blood leaking out of her. I mean, it was a really smart, you know, way to take out the threat by the Beifong sisters. Like, to save her sisters, she literally threw her breastplate on the guy, like, on the girl's head. Like, nope. It's something that would give you, like, a lot of the XP in, like,
Oh, Sazi, you missed it yesterday. While I was streaming and everything, me, Unfounded, and Janice got into a really pretty deep conversation about D&D, and I was giving them the lowdown on the lore of like dragons, kobolds, and like
Changeling. We got into Changeling the Lost too. It was a pretty good session. Not only that, but we also talked a lot about, like, you know, demonetization and like what Borderlands did. It was like an actual gentleman's club instead of just being like a fancy name for a I can't wait to get the armor set for this. The load start signed on. The frame looks really sweet. Get the armor set of like 1,000 days. And I'm already on like 8 days. So
Shazzy, you about ready to play some Code Vein?
Yeah, I've just been kind of mindlessly samurai showdowning. Let me see how. Let me try to figure out how close I am to the boss with this character. I might just bow out.
Sam Show Panda.
Because I'm doing story modes for the different characters. Yeah, I just realized I never beat it with my favorite character.
I'm gonna go grab some water while you're doing that.
You probably wanted to save your favorite character till last, and then just kept forgetting that was your plan.
It's very possible.
Ooh, the Necros Ion helmet gives him like a Master Shredder kind of vibe. It's got like the flat hat with the like Arabian curtain around the side of it.
I love Miss Lila. You're a cute little kitty. Yummy.
Alright, I'm back. Hey asshole, he's dead.
We didn't meet when we were drunk.
I could get drunk right now. What is it with you in 48-hour streams?
That's a lot of water. Let's see you stay up for 3 days.
Yeah. If I was there, I'd make sure you did it, even though I wasn't gonna get paid, just by like staying awake next to you and like smacking a book on your nuts whenever you fell asleep. Like, no! You said 72 hours. Hey, Shazzy,
How bad should I hit him?
So you want help with the boss? Is that what you're
yeah.
pushing for? Alrighty.
$100 would be the scene from Reservoir Dogs where he's dancing around with the knife. Stuck in the middle of you. That was such a great scene. He's like, I'm not gonna talk. He's like, oh, I don't want you to talk. In fact, take that tape. And he like takes it out and just starts cutting.